when push comes to shove,
True best case scenario to go down there is Johnny and Wes.
will they turn on their closest allies?
I don't know what the to do. I know that I'm crossing somebody that I have a really good friendship with.
This is what it's all about.
The Amazing Race is bigger than ever with 90-minute episodes all season long. Go!
The Amazing Race, new season September 27th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. New Big Brother Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Autumn officially starts next week, but I'll show you if summery temperatures return to say goodbye. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a call to strike. The UAW president urges some union members to stand up and strike at midnight tonight as the union works toward a deal in the final hours of Thursday. We'll have the very latest. Plus, a possible federal government shutdown if Congress can't pass a budget before the October 1st deadline. Tonight, what's causing the holdup? And a UP Vietnam-era veteran shares his experience while visiting the Vietnam Veterans Memorial during yesterday's honor flight. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this
I'm hoping it's not going to be as chilly tonight as it has been this week, but I am looking forward to more pleasant temperatures this weekend.
You got it, Sarah. Just for you and everybody else, because who wants to turn the furnace on right now, right? Okay, so we are expecting some cool temperatures tonight, but nothing like those 30s that we've been seeing. We'll be mostly in this 40 to 60 degree range over the next couple of days, and then those pleasant temps are actually going to increase next week. We could be in the mid to upper, I know, raise the roof, Sarah. We could be in the mid to upper 70s. Today, though, we saw a high of about 67 degrees at the National Weather Service. Your 7-day outlooks and NMU homecoming events coming up.
Thank you very much, Ann. Developing now, auto workers in Detroit are planning to walk off the job tomorrow if their union leaders can't agree on a new contract with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. UAW President Shawn Fain tonight said if a deal isn't met by midnight, 3 plants will go on strike in what would be the first ever strike against Detroit's big 3 automakers all at the same time. Fain said members will use a so-called stand-up strike strategy in which employees at a limited number of targeted locations will be ready to leave their posts starting at midnight. Chris Van Cleve reports from the Motor City how this would have a negative effect across the entire economy.
Countdown to a shutdown. Without a deal, auto workers will go on strike at Ford, GM, and Stellantis plants at midnight. Negotiations appear to be stalled.
The big 3 can afford to immediately give us our fair share. If they choose not to, then they're choosing to strike themselves.
I think they're preparing for a historic strike with all 3 companies.
Ford CEO Jim Farley.
What their initial offer is to pay our hourly workers about $300,000 each and to work 4 days. That would basically put our company out of business.
Do you feel this has been a good faith negotiation?
It's hard to say what word because we've never really seen this before.
The UAW is seeking up to a 40% raise. The automakers are offering about half that. Also on the wish list, a 32-hour work week and the return of pensions, non-starters for the companies. Also, phasing out concessions made in 2008 when the car makers teetered on the verge of collapse. The big 3 are on a roll of big profits over the last decade, more than $20 billion so far this year alone.
Corporate greed is the problem. Our membership is fed up and fired up.
The fight is playing out as the auto industry is going through a major shift to electric vehicles. EVs require less labor to manufacture, and workers tend not to be unionized, meaning labor costs for competitors are significantly less.
We're falling behind further and further.
A Friday strike would leave third-generation auto worker Zach Van Vliet living off $500 a week in strike pay, which doesn't go far for a family of 4.
How long until you start to really feel that pinch?
Honestly, I don't think it would take long at all. If we do go out, how long is it going to take to get a deal?
The UAW says without a deal, it will strike key plants belonging to all 3 automakers and then expand if necessary.
It's a dangerous thing to say you're going to strike just some plants but not others, because that's not how the industry can operate. And you will see more than just those plants shut down.
Economists say even a relatively short 10-day strike against all three automakers could cost $5.6 billion. We are learning that President Biden has been in touch with union leaders and executives at the Big Three, trying to find out how to unstall these negotiations.
Here in the UP, downtown Marquette will soon be getting 2 new electric vehicle charging stations, and 3 stations will be installed in Munising. The project being spearheaded by the Superior Watershed Partnership, the Innovate Marquette Smart Zone, Marquette DDA, and the City of Marquette. It's part of the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy's Charge Up Michigan program. The group received a $160,000 Eagle grant for the project in Marquette and $230,000 for the one in Munising. The partnership says the rate of power each station can output is only going to increase, and that having a level 3 charger helps keep UP towns in line with the evolution of the EV industry.
Really depends on the electric vehicle itself too, so how much power that can actually, like the maximum output. I think that there will be an increasing need for especially DC fast chargers.
Construction on those stations is planned to begin next spring. In Lansing today, House Republicans are discussing the challenges they see with energy legislation being worked in by Democrats. Republican members of the House Energy Committee say renewable energy could cause a potential price hike in utilities. They say they're concerned statewide legislation would take power away from local municipalities who might have a better idea of what energy sources work best in their area. They also say they're concerned about the reliability of renewable sources like wind and solar during extreme weather events, which UP State Representative Dave Preston says is especially concerning for the UP.
Michigan's energy portfolio has to be built on a best available technology basis. Virtue signaling with the renewable portfolio is dangerous. Ultimately, it's going to put us in harm's way.
We also reached out to UP State Rep. Jen Hill, a Democrat, about this. She responded in part, quote, renewable energy costs are much lower than the costs of fossil fuels because once the equipment is paid for, operating expenses are next to nothing. Renewable energy is homegrown power managed by the communities that need it. This model will support energy reliability and affordable rates. You can read much more about this on our website, WZMQ19.com, and our mobile app. As legislators are preparing to finish ongoing projects before the end of this year, Michigan's 38th District State Senator Ed McBroom says there are a few issues he thinks should be a priority. With legislation being worked on surrounding state corrections facilities, renewable energy, and education, Senator McBroom says he hopes the legislature can come up with policies that address the different needs in both rural and urban areas across the state.
Your solution might not work the best for everybody. Maybe it only works for one group but not for everybody else. And we have to either then just direct the solution to that group, or we need to find different ways of delivering a solution to the different people that are affected.
To hear more from State Senator Ed McBroom and the rest of the UP's legislators about their goals for the rest of 2023, just head to our website. A possible government shutdown is becoming a greater threat as the U.S. House of Representatives was unable to move forward with spending bills ahead of the October 1st deadline. On Wednesday, the House planned on voting for a defense spending bill. It's typically one of the easiest appropriations bills for each chamber to agree on, but in-party fighting among Republicans is growing in the House, keeping them from moving forward with not only that bill, but other necessary spending bills. Members in the House are ending their work for the week without a vote on any spending bill or a short-term funding bill this week, while over in the Senate, they're moving a mini package of 3 spending bills with large bipartisan support. On top of all this, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy is facing his own set of challenges. Some of the far-right Republicans in the House are issuing their own demands, some even embracing a government shutdown, while other House Republicans say they don't want that.
I know some people talk about shutting down the government. I think it's the worst thing we can do. In a world that's so unstable right now, to be looking internally that we have that kind of division, we have to fund what we already spent. What we can do are make little adjustments that over a long period of time can begin to bring that down. But our debt is out of control right now. I think it's $33 trillion, which is totally unimaginable.
Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly says he hopes his Republican colleagues who are pressuring Speaker McCarthy to work in the sphere he has to work in, and hopes there can be a resolution to this. Meanwhile, a federal judge declared the latest version of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, illegal yesterday, but the judge stopped short of completely terminating the program. Natalie Brandt has the report from Washington.
Hundreds of thousands of dreamers, undocumented immigrants who were brought to this country as children, suffered a legal setback Wednesday. A federal judge in Texas declared the latest version of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, or DACA, unlawful. But the judge stopped short of a complete termination of the program, allowing current DACA beneficiaries to be able to continue to renew their work permits and be protected from deportation while closing the program to new applicants. The ruling comes nearly 3 months since advocates celebrated the 11th anniversary of DACA and called for a path to citizenship. More than 500,000 immigrants are enrolled in the program, including Aurelie Hernandez.
I came to the U.S. when I was in grade school to reunite with my mom, my dad, and my little brother. That was more than 30 years ago. This year I will be 40.
Congress has worked on several bipartisan proposals to come up with a permanent legal solution for DACA recipients and other young immigrants, but there's been disagreement over the pathway to citizenship and overall efforts to address the nation's immigration crisis.
We clearly have a broken immigration system, and we need to fix it and do so in a bipartisan way.
The Biden administration is expected to appeal the latest federal ruling, and the case is likely to reach the U.S. Supreme Court.
The judge in this case issued a similar ruling back in 2021 when he found the original Obama administration memo that created DACA in 2012 was illegal. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, it may not be cold out yet, but it will be soon. Mental health professionals talk about how to prevent seasonal affective disorder before winter gets here. And celebrating 100 years of serving female veterans, healthcare providers at the Iron Mountain VA Hospital share how women's healthcare has evolved over the years. We're back in 2 minutes.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Shop hundreds of lazy boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
Catch up with WZMQ 19 News on your schedule. The latest 19 news and weather are available around the clock at WZMQ19.com.
Now more than ever, you need to know what's happening here in Washington. Decisions affecting your life by the people you set here. I'm Rachel Knapp, tracking the daily decisions by your senators and representatives. That's my job, and I report to you. Healthcare, education, the economy, taxes, jobs, all hang in the balance. Watch my reports from Capitol Hill only on WZMQ 19 News.
We could all use more joy, more silly, more laughter and love. When you make more room in your heart and home for a Michigan child in foster care, you don't just give this joy, you receive it. Become a foster parent to a child until they can safely reunite with their family. Get started at michigan.gov/hope for a home.
PTSD isn't something that is just going to go away on its own.
Treatment works. It helps.
There's no shame in treatment.
Just do it. Your world will be so different afterwards.
It's a warrior sickness. It's not a coward sickness.
Never too late.
I guarantee you it'll help you.
It will change your life.
It turned my life around.
You can find peace.
Never thought I could feel this good.
Walk through those doors, take the step.
Go get help. It's the best and bravest thing you could ever do.
Treatment works.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasic.
Mostly clear skies out there right now. Those temperatures in the 50s and even 60s, and that's kind of going to be our low this evening, as we've got winds primarily coming out of the south. Those are going to stick with us for a little bit. They could get a little gusty tomorrow, though. I'll show you in just a moment. Our 3-day outlook, we'll expect cloudier conditions in the north this evening. If we do have some moving in, it's going to be later on. And then tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Those rain showers covering the UP. I'll show you that momentarily. Temps a little bit warmer, 65 to 75. And then on Saturday, partly to mostly sunny skies and chances of showers also. So I said we've got temperatures rising. Next week, we could be in that muggy zone, but not until Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. But we've been through this. It's not going to be a big deal. Right now, most of that precipitation just to the west of us in mostly Minnesota, heading into Wisconsin the past couple of hours, and it's likely to touch down in a couple hours here later on. As you can see, we are fairly dry at the moment, but let's take a look at what Futurecast is showing and when we can expect those showers pushing in. 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe some heavy precipitation there in Ironwood making its way eastward. We'll see showers in the central portions around 2 p.m. and carrying over into the early evening hours. Most of this area down here by Lake Michigan is going to stay fairly dry. We could see a thunderstorm there, as you saw, around 8 p.m. in Ironwood, and then we'll expect some clouds pushing in the afternoon. Scattered showers across the board here, mostly hanging out, though, in the central UP on our Saturday afternoon. So I don't think we're going to get rained out for any of these events. You're just going to get a sprinkling. So I said those gusts could be kicking up tomorrow, especially down here in Manistee. Keep your eye on that. About 29 in Marquette for the morning at 7 a.m. when you send your student out. So just be aware of those situations. Ontonagon seeing about 29 miles an hour there by 6 p.m. And then we'll kind of slow down after that. Friday, we've got soccer going on with homecoming. The men play at noon. Women play at 3 p.m. The forecast looking pretty good until those showers likely push in around 2, like we just talked about, and temperatures increasing tomorrow. We could see some 70-degree situations, Menominee, Marquette, and Manistee. Everybody else just hovering a little bit below that. And then if you're looking for something else to do here in Marquette, there's also the NMU Homecoming Parade at 5:30. We'll expect a high at that point at 66, and then 40% chance of showers with mostly cloudy skies. The rest of our Marquette weather this week, we've got 20% chance on Saturday for showers, and then we'll cool down on Sunday, but warming back up. Look at this, almost 80 degrees on Wednesday. It's going to be a very gorgeous and dry week next week, hopefully.
Thank you very much, Ariane. If you've noticed, there's been a little bit of a chill in the air lately. You can now feel the transition away from summer and into the colder months. But fall and winter can come with some serious impacts to mental health. Sloan Wick looks into seasonal affective disorder.
There is no one clear cause of seasonal affective disorder, but experts believe a lack of vitamin D plays a big role.
We do need to actually get more of that sunlight and things like that, because it has a huge effect on kind of our mood and how we're feeling.
But it's not just sun. She says there's a social part of it too. Many people don't go out and do things with others as often in the winter.
There's not necessarily as much for individuals to do, or individuals who maybe can't go outside in the winter due to different physical limitations like mobility or just because of the cold.
And the environment doesn't help.
And when you're looking outside the window, right, it's not this colorful, like floral, green, bright activity. We're seeing, white. We're seeing the bleak kind of gray feeling.
Seasonal affective disorder is usually more common for people living in the northern states, like Wisconsin. The closer you are to the North Pole or the South Pole, the more daylight will vary.
Daylight hours are a result of the Earth's tilt. Imagine this ball as the Earth and this light as the sun. As we go into winter, we tilt more away from the sun's light, and that's what gives us shorter daylight hours.
You notice it much more late summer into early fall. So late August, early September, that's when you really start to see that transition from only losing a minute of daylight per day to around 3 minutes of daylight per day.
We'll lose an hour and a half of daylight this month, so it's best to prepare now before it gets even darker and seasonal affective symptoms start to get worse.
Make a plan or plan to fail. So really trying to kind of get ahead of the game.
The Behavioral Health Clinic recommends talking with a mental health professional now if you tend to experience seasonal affective disorder symptoms. Construction companies from around the country gathered on NMU's campus today to interview students and find some potential workers. WZMQ's Scott Minshaw has more on what the companies were looking for and how Northern has prepared its students for the workforce.
48 companies from around the country set up shop in the newly remodeled Jacobetti complex today. The building houses NMU's construction management program. And with the recent upgrades, it's better preparing students into near-perfect candidates for employment in any field.
Students are going to be able to work in anything from healthcare, wind farms, residential, large commercial, industrial. It's the opportunities are endless.
A majority of the companies in attendance have representatives who are graduates of Northern's program. According to them, coming back to their alma mater and providing opportunities is an easy choice.
I know the quality of work and the quality of education that comes out of here, and we want to explore what's still here.
The university even brought in some alumni to give hour-long presentations earlier this week, going over things like what an internship with their company would consist of and how to apply for positions.
It takes some of that pressure off of meeting with a totally new company, and they're able to kind of talk about their experience in the program as well as how they and why they chose the company that they're working for.
The construction management program is one of Northern's most successful in job placement. Nearly every graduate of the program has a full-time job waiting for them post-commencement.
These students are able to make choices. They have multiple offers for internships and full-time jobs, so they are making the choices of where they want to be.
The construction management program at Northern has 150 students, and those students were able to take their first steps towards their futures today. Scott Minshaw, WZMQ 19 News, Marquette.
The Jacobetti complex will be given a formal dedication ceremony tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a full report on that and give you an inside look tomorrow night at 6/5 Central. Still ahead tonight, a moving experience at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall. After this break, one UP veteran shares his story on the Honor Flight Mission 22.
Stay tuned to get a free crisper tray from Granite Stone. Why is it every time you go to cook a family meal, you have to search for pots, pans, and lids? Well, all that's about to change. Introducing Stackmaster by Granite Stone, the ingenious nonstick cookware set that stacks to fit all in one place and takes up a fraction of the space. Plus, each piece of Stackmaster cookware is pressed from a solid aluminum disc, then fitted with a stainless steel induction plate for even heat conduction and coated 3 times with our durable non-stick Granite Stone finish that's so good, burnt on cheese, caramel, and chocolate just doesn't stick. Stackmaster is oven rated up to 500 degrees for outstanding roasting and baking. Plus, all Stackmaster cookware is 100% dishwasher safe and PFOA free. Look, you'd expect to pay over $400 for a professional quality cookware set, but during this special TV introduction, you can get the complete Stackmaster 10-piece set, not for $400, $300, or even $200, but for the factory direct price of just 5 easy payments of $39.99. And for everyone who calls or goes online to order today, we're going to drop 1 payment. You get it all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. Stackmaster cookware is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. As a bonus, we'll include our self-draining fry basket, our stainless steel steamer insert, and our gourmet recipe guide absolutely free. And there's even more. As a bonus, you'll get our Granite Stone crisper tray, the fast, easy, non-stick way to fry up your favorite foods. No grease or oil needed. Together, they're a $60 value. Yours free. That's an incredible 15-piece Stackmaster set, all for just 4 easy payments of $39.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. That's right, free shipping. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-898-7175. That's 1-800-898-7175, or order online at buystackmaster.com.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
UP Honor Flight Mission 22 took more than 70 veterans to Washington, D.C. yesterday to see the memorials built in their honor. Among those was the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall. WZMQ's Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons spoke with one vet about his personal connection.
Upper Peninsula veterans walked along the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, searching for fellow service members and loved ones whose names are etched in the wall. Among them, Army veteran Ronald Walensky of Iron Mountain.
I'm sitting in Fort Dix, New Jersey, cleaning latrines, and a general came in and said, "You've been here for 2 weeks now, what gives?" I said, "Well, I don't know, I don't have any orders."
Walensky was then sent to Germany as a truck driver.
They said, "We don't know why you're here, because you should be in Vietnam."
Until the 107 Transportation Brigade headquarters needed a typist.
Luckily, I got the job. The other ones went to Vietnam. The good Lord must have been looking out for me, because they had my name spelt wrong 3 times.
Walensky returned home in 1967, unaware of the reception awaiting him.
Went to the bowling alley, my uniform on. The guy behind, I knew him. He said, "You caused a war. We don't serve you." I said, "Well, all I want is a drink." The next thing I knew, he spit on me.
On Wednesday, Walensky and other vets had the names of Vietnam veterans they knew who died in the war rubbed onto pieces of paper.
There are a couple that passed on from my school area that I really felt bad about.
For Walensky, the Upper Peninsula Honor Flight was a healing experience, providing some closure at the wall and showing there are those who truly appreciate the sacrifice of Vietnam-era veterans.
It makes me feel good again about recognition. Not that you want it, but you know, it's a different perspective. It's like everything is wiped clean.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Washington, D.C.
And as the Honor Flight slogan goes, it's never too late to say thank you. Meanwhile, today at the Oscar G. Johnson VA Medical Center in Iron Mountain, care providers are celebrating the 100th anniversary of women veterans receiving care through the VA. WZMQ's Iron Mountain Bureau reporter Amy Doyle shares what some of the providers had to say about how women's health care has evolved over the years.
Just this year, the Oscar G. Johnson VA Medical Center expanded its domestic violence screening services and added new programs for women who may have experienced violence. As the hospital celebrates a century of care for women veterans, I talked to providers about what they're focusing on for the future of women's health care at the VA. Dr. Joellen Zahn, the Women Veteran Program Manager, is highlighting women being treated as a whole person. That's why she emphasizes the whole health program.
100 years ago, we didn't really look at women the way we do today. Today we look at women, the whole person. Today women run whole companies, run whole businesses, plus also take care of their children.
The whole health program is for all veterans, but Dr. Zahn understands that in a world where women are expected to do it all, self-care is crucial. The whole health program targets 8 self-care areas. Hospital staff today actively work to ensure patient waiting areas are comfortable for women. Female staff work closely with Dr. Zahn to ensure women feel comfortable receiving care.
We want all of our women veterans to feel welcome here and to feel our gratitude for their service. And my job is really to work with all of our veterans to make sure they know the different ways that we can keep them healthy and active and prevent disease.
These providers are committed to the next century of modern women's health care at the VA, starting with a campaign for breast cancer awareness next month.
For October, I believe our theme is to get preventative screening. So for women, of course, that would be mammograms.
Town hall meetings, specifically for female veterans, which have been offered throughout the year via conference call, will soon be offered as an in-person option. Amy Doyle, WZMQ 19 News, Iron Mountain.
We're looking at some pretty pleasant conditions for our weekend with a scattered shower or two here and there. Ariane has the outlook on the way and the cooking show hosted today at Harris and what hundreds of guests learned about different cooking methods. That's our final story after this.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
The UP's show for family fun. Join me for Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Open up. The IRS is the most feared agency in the country and has the power to seize assets, garnish wages, and even put you in jail for back taxes and unfiled tax returns. Don't be a victim. Call Kick IRS right now and let us kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all. Our powerful team of tax experts will fight hard for you and will not stop until we've resolved your tax problems on your terms. And if you qualify, we may even reduce or eliminate your tax debt altogether. No more sleepless nights wondering when the IRS is going to come after you. Take control of your tax problems today and make the phone call. We have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we offer a 100% written guarantee, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. The consultation is free and the phone call is free. So pick up the phone right now and kick those IRS problems out of your life once and for all.
Call 800-871-9227. That's 800-871-9227. 800-871-9227.
You're watching home to CBS Mornings, WZMQ 19.
Well, tomorrow we could see some cloud coverage with those showers rolling in. Up there in Houghton, about 56 when the students head out for the bus stop, and then those clouds increasing throughout the day. Maybe showers in the afternoon, so you might want to send them with an umbrella. The temp around 66 degrees. Possible thunderstorms a little bit after that around 4 p.m. Mostly sunny on Saturday for the Margie race. Oh my gosh, y'all. Good for you if you're racing in this. I've heard it's insane. Those temperatures about 55 when a lot of the events kick off, and then we'll see likely 60, mid-60s later on. Our 7-day outlook for Escanaba, we've got possible showers on Saturday, and then Sunday will cool down there as well. Mostly sunny though, and we'll stay sunny next week and hitting about 74 midweek. I got to show you this. Walking dinosaurs strolling around. Sandhill Cranes, Terry Donaldson. Man, she takes some amazing bird photos. If you haven't checked them out, head over to her site.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Finally tonight, Escanaba's Daily Press newspaper brought back its fan favorite cooking show, now held at the Island Resort and Casino in Harris. The Island's convention's executive chef and sous chef demonstrated how to prepare a variety of dishes today. The recipes included ingredients from 6 local food vendors, including Lanaville garlic that we featured earlier this week, and Upper Coop eggs. More than 250 guests learned about a temperature-based method called sous vide cooking, as well as easy-to-make meals in a crock pot or Instant Pot.
Just a reminder that there are great recipes and things for the home that you can do for ease, because everybody is cramped for time to do things. Families, jobs, crock pots and Instant Pots are great ways to cook really good comfort meals at home.
Love a crock pot meal. You can watch our live stream on the Taste of the Island cooking show at WZMQ19.com, dailypress.net, or our Facebook page. Our operations manager, Ken, went to that. He filmed it. He said it smelled really, really great.
Catch up with WZMQ 19 News on your schedule. The latest 19 news and weather are available around the clock at WZMQ19.com. The second annual fundraising event supporting the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals is coming. Join RE/MAX First Realty in Marquette and enjoy fun for the whole family. Activities include a raffle and silent auction, bounce house, fire truck, face painting, plus balloon pop games,